So we're ready to start. Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to welcome all of you on our Hiring Developers course. And today we have the first webinar, Introduction to Technical Recruiting. So let's start. Let's start from this. What's in it for you? Why you should participate in this course? As you may probably know, the salary of IT recruiters or high-tech recruiters is always 2-3 times higher than regular recruiters. And the freelance recruiter earns at least 3 to 5,000 per every closed vacancy of the developer or similar. So it's highly paid profession. It's very profitable to know how to hire developers. Current salaries of general recruiters in the world are close to 58K. And as you can see, the highest salaries are close to 85, right? But talking about IT recruiters who hire tech developers and other tech positions, they earn more. So for example, if we see Amazon, the salary here is quite a bit higher than average. And in most countries and most European countries, high-tech recruiters, they earn 2 or even 3 times higher than standard recruiters. This is the course website. So if you want to visit and discover more details, if you are not on the course. And let me introduce myself. So I started as a recruiter at Alpha Bank. It wasn't IT, actually, it was the bank, financial sector. But I had several IT positions because, as you know, in the bank, IT department is quite a big one. So I worked with the IT department as well. I helped them to hire some people. Then I worked at STB TV channel, which is the part of Starlight Media. And again, in television media company, it also has quite a big IT department because part of this business is IT business. But then I went to Wargaming, totally IT company, game development company. And then I worked at Preply. Actually, it was me who built HR and recruitment system at Preply. We formed the first HR team, built recruitment process from the scratch, sourcing process from the scratch. And then I just copied what I did at Preply at Ideal's company. Just did the same, introduced tools, build the team, build the processes, and then I help PeopleForce with their product to prioritize features, to develop some HR processes and others. And now I teach my students at Mike Pritula Academy. Okay, so let's move on. In my work, I rely on best practices, of course. It's not all of them. This is just a small list of what I monitor regularly, what I watch, what I read, and I recommend you do the same. This course, as all our courses, has home assignments or homeworks, and all completed homeworks qualify for the diploma of completion. This is an example of this diploma, so you will receive it as soon as you send all your homeworks and they are approved and accepted. We issue our online diploma on a credible platform, which is one of the most popular in the world. Google, Zendesk, Slack, Harvard, they all use the same platform, right? So they issue a lot of diplomas regularly. It's like an international certification. Your employer or any person could check your diploma, verify your diploma, if it's real, if it's true. You may add this to your LinkedIn profile, which is also good. And this course consists of 6 classes. We are starting from Introduction to Technical Recruiting today. When and how, then we will continue with the second class, when how to look for developers online, who are web developers and front-end developers. Then we will continue with talent mapping and candidate assessment, and who are back-end developers. Then we will learn Boolean search and learn who are full-stack developers. Then we will learn sourcing tools. There are a lot of them, and now some of them are very well packed with AI features. And then we learn who are mobile app developers and desktop developers. And the last class will be about contacting candidates effectively, again with the help of AI as well, and who are database developers and DevOps. So as you can see from the program, all our classes, they consist of two parts. The first part is about specific developers recruiting, and the second part is about different roles, different technologies, different nuances about high-tech recruitment. Okay, so today we will learn what are the different types of IT positions, a brief overview, key terms you need to know to work with developers, type of developers, front-end, back-end, full-stack, DevOps, and others, and developer levels, junior, middle, senior, and what the difference is. So let's start, and let's start from the competencies that any software developer recruiter should know. There are a lot of them. Actually, we have lots of different competencies, and you may test yourself with this link. So just click take the test link. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you will see link to the chat in description. So open the chat and ask me for this link. So, and if you are already a student, you just have it in your student account. You may download the presentation or open the presentation and find the test. So you open the test as this, and then you see this prompt that you need to copy your file. That's okay. You just click make a copy, and then as soon as you click this button, you'll see this. You'll see this test. This is something that I developed for assessing recruiters during my work at STB, and then I modified this later for other companies, and it works quite good. So it helps you to assess what your current level is. So you just read the explanation and you choose. If you agree with this explanation, you put now 1 here. If you agree with this, you put 1 here. And if you agree with this, you put 1 here. So you need just to choose 1, not to put everywhere. And you do the same for all parts. And at the end of this document, you'll have the level, junior, middle, senior. So you'll know what your current level is. Okay, that's the test. And talking about IT recruiters or software developer recruiters, what's the difference they have compared to standard or ordinary recruiters? Firstly, they have very deep industry knowledge, which we will be focusing on this course. And also they're quite good at sourcing, because when you look for developers, you don't rely on job sites, job boards, right? Because you don't expect a lot of applicants from there. Of course, you may have some applicants. Some of them are in active search, but lots of them are what we call passive candidates. And you have to know how to find them. Talking about sourcing, what specific knowledge you need to have? Plugins, Google search operators, Boolean search, X-ray, sourcing strategy development, synonym selection, search channels. Of course, you need to know how to search on GitHub, because this is like a standard thing for developers, and LinkedIn, of course. Search for candidate contact information, review and define the format of the reach out, tools for implementing email newsletters, creating marketing content, features of international search, tracking sourcing effectiveness, and specifics of executive sourcing. That's what you need to know about sourcing. And talking about industry knowledge or high-tech specific knowledge, you need to know some of programming languages and what the difference they have. Of course, you don't learn all possible programming languages. Of course, you start from those that is used in your company. And then as soon as you meet another language, like you have another position, you learn another language details. Of course, you don't learn how to code, you just learn some details. Then frameworks, auxiliary tools, operating system, architecture, network, type of companies and business, software development cycle, software testing, analytics, databases, artificial intelligence, IT security, blockchain, game dev, and IT infrastructure. That's what you need to know. What kind of help you may receive to learn this stuff? There are lots of different options. First, I highly recommend you to install this Glossary Tag plugin, and they also have the site. So on their site, you may find these categories like this, and then you may open the category and read the explanation. So imagine you have a new position, right? And you want to learn some details about this position. So you type some new word like Angular, you open the description, yeah, and then you read the description. By the way, you may type your email and receive regular email. So this is an Angular site. You also have some basic information, some related items, terms, and of course you may install the extension, which I highly recommend you. This extension being installed will highlight all technical terms on the website, on any page actually. So you go to LinkedIn and you see all technical terms, you see the description and pop-up, you see how many terms are there. So it's quite good and very helpful to use this plugin. So get the plugin right away, don't forget to do this. And then another way to learn technical terms as soon as they appear in your life, use this tech terms website. I like it a lot. Let's open the website and let's watch. Let's actually do this. Yeah, so you type another Angular stuff, Angular, you click enter. Yeah, and the term and found in 20 definitions. Yeah, this is quite different from what we saw. This is strange. Tech terms with Google Angular. Yeah, but this is the enemy. Strange because seems like they don't have programming language description. Okay, so let's learn what's framework. Framework. Yeah, that's what they have. So this is, as you can see, the description here is quite different. You know, it has more details. So if we're coming back to here, the glossary tag, let's try compare framework. If I want to know what's framework, so they're quite different. They don't have the description of the word framework, but they have a lot of different frameworks. So let's try to find one of the frameworks. Which one? Just something unique. Maybe Mockito. And let's put it here. Yeah, absolutely. So this tech terms, it's about general terms, and this side about specific programming languages, specific frameworks, specific libraries, and so on. And that's just perfect because you may combine, right? What I like about this site, it's not that you may find something, you may click a random term and learn. They have test your knowledge, and they also have quizzes. So you open quizzes. I don't want to show you the answer because it's the new one. Let's move here. January. Let me try to find previous quizzes. Yeah, it's on the site, but they put it somewhere. Internet, so internet, yeah. So this is quizzes. So I need to, no. General, if I want to, yeah, I click here, general, yeah. And then I may find past quizzes. So I may start from the oldest one. Let's imagine I want to pass general quizzes and it's going to be easy. So, it's something that I already did. Yeah, it's again something that I already showed to my students. Which of the following is a primary processor in a computer? CPU, GPU, LU, FPU. I'm clicking CPU, and that's correct. I may also read the description. What is CPU? What interface is most similar to HDMI? Lighting, DisplayPort, media. I think it's DisplayPort. Yeah, totally correct. So this is how you work with the site. It's very interesting. You use quizzes, you use random terms, you may even download. Yeah, you may even download some applications. File information, slang dictionary. You may open slang dictionary, but it's not just about IT. It's just about any slang. But you may find this as well. Yeah, like SDLC. No, they don't have it. Yeah, just like a standard general slang, because I think you may find SDLC here. Yeah, they have SDLC, of course. System development life cycle. Yeah. So that's how you work, how you search for terms, how you learn new stuff about high-tech specific. Yeah, this is a description. What else I like about this tech term site? Because they have these levels. So imagine yourself like you are newbie to high tech. So you start from the first level. And then you learn some basic terms. Then as soon as you're successful with the level 1, you switch to level 2. So then you learn these new words. And level 10 is the most complicated, like most difficult. So you learn also anything from this level. So that's how you may learn, right? So you start from the easiest level, first one, and then you continue with more and more difficult levels. And as soon as you progress, you are becoming more and more experienced and more aware about high-tech terms. So what they call number 10, highly specific and advanced term can impress even your nerdest friends. So why not to learn them? Then also don't skip Wikipedia because of course it's just general encyclopedia, but it has lots of different tech terms as well, like framework, software, language, framework. So you search for the term software framework and you may learn the article. As you can see, it has quite good explanation, lots of links, some examples, see also some references. So it's again quite useful to search for terms here as SDLC, and you can read what is it. Then, for example, also good for titles, product owner. So you see the description of who is product owner. That's how it works. Then, what are the different types of IT positions? A brief overview. When it comes to IT, to high-tech companies, we know that there is a team of different positions. This is just an example, but usually we focus on developers, actually those who develop the code, create the code. Then testers who test the code that is developed by developers. Administrators who help to deploy the code, to support all systems, support servers and other stuff. Analysts who help to describe clients' requirements in the way that developers could understand. Then designers, they design everything. Like they design how we see the site, how we see the application. They design some creatives and others. Support, those who support users. They usually help users to solve different problems. Then security, those who provide security to the system so no one could hack it. Products and projects, those who are their kind managers who are responsible for the whole product and the whole system. And top management or senior management, senior executives, those who run the company. So the main focus for this course, as you see from the name of this course, they are developers. We call them developer, or it's very important to remember because when you search for developers on LinkedIn, you may find so many different titles. So you search for developer, software engineer, programmer. Also, you search in your local language. It could be any kind of language, or maybe not in your local language, but let's say you search for developers in Germany, so you need to know how to write this in German. If you search for developers in Poland, you need to know how to write it in Polish. The same for, I don't remember exactly which one is Italian. Yeah, sorry, I don't remember exactly. But you need to know how to type it, right? And if you learn for people in Ukraine, you may use all these words as well. So it's good to know all synonyms, all possible synonyms, and try to search for all of them on LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn at the moment, when you use search, standard search, it doesn't search for synonyms. But of course, with AI and native language processing, native language search, they will provide you with synonyms, right? So they are starting to experiment this with LinkedIn Recruiter. So probably soon we will see that we may type just developer and they will find software engineers, programmers, and others, and also with misspellings, because sometimes people just misspell the title and it's hard to find them. If you need a translator, so let's say you work with different languages, I highly recommend use DeepL instead of Google Translate. That's what all technical recruiters use for translating in any language you need. And of course, Grammarly, I highly recommend you to use if you're not native English speaker and you need to write something in English. So always use Grammarly. What kind of developers we usually have? On this course, we will consider different types, right? So we will learn in details what kind of developers we have and what are the specific. But generally, we usually divide developers in front end that develops the part that usually users see, right? So if I open some application, I'll see some front end part. Then backend, usually running on server that we don't see, but they're responsible for the logic. Desktop, if it's desktop application, and mobile, if it's mobile application. Database, if it's about the database, the place where everything is stored. DevOps, those who support developers. And full stack, those who knows everything about any parts of development. We call them full stack. All developers in the world, they are usually divided in different levels. There are different approaches to divide into levels like junior, middle, senior, and the different approach how to consider them and compare them to other professions. I would say that one of the most popular system in the world for high-tech company is a Redford system. Redford is a company, I think they are now part of Aon, AON. Previously, they were part of Hewitt, but Hewitt was bought by Aon. And yeah, a lot of companies in the world, they work with Redford to implement a grading system, to do salary survey and other stuff. So this is a Redford leveling system. It means that professionals, they have 6 levels, and then managers also have 6 levels, and then senior managers or executives, they have 2 levels. And also there are support, which has 5 levels. And as you can see, some levels, they have some overlap, right? Like some developers could be at the same level of the salary as some management. Then salaries. Of course, working with developers, you need to know about their salaries. There are lots of different websites that show their salaries in different countries, and also there are some international, like Glassdoor, PayScale. They are all international. Job leveling system developed by Redford. If we are talking about just developers, we will not be talking about management and support, but developers. Redford system, they support 6 levels. Also, we used Redford at Wargaming, so I just put here Wargaming titles. So Redford proposes us to start from, they call it entry, on then next level is development, career, advanced, expert, and principal. At Wargaming, we had trainee, junior, middle, senior, expert, sorry, lead and then expert. Lots of different companies, they use Redford leveling system like Wargaming, for example, Buffer, but actually the real list is quite big. I think they work with over 2,000 companies worldwide, but mostly in the United States. I mean, Redford. This is the Redford, this is Aeon. So you need to know how it's typed. Okay, so what they understand by entry or trainee level? We have some examples. Actually, these examples in Redford, they were quite different, but I needed to rewrite it for Wargaming. So we will read examples from Wargaming. So let's start from trainee, entry level. Example, collect information from employees. Competencies. Learns to use professional techniques, applies generally accepted company rules and processes to solve repetitive problems. Difficulty of work. Works on a narrow range of tasks, follows generally accepted techniques and procedures when analyzing situations and data that provide the necessary answers. Establishes stable working relationships within the team. Control typically receives detailed instructions on work tasks, and experience typically does not require prior professional experience. Then junior, then middle, then senior, and lead and expert. Actually, this Redford leveling system is applicable for any kind of positions, not just developers. But there are some more specific leveling systems that is used in the world that could be used as like a template or starting point for your company, or probably working in your company has its own leveling system and its own description, right? So what kind of descriptions could be? Let's learn some more details. So as I said, Redford is more general. It's not just for developers, but some companies, they develop their specific leveling system for developers and sometimes for other positions. So let's start from this FT and let's open the description. What they have. They divide the developers in 4 types: junior engineer, engineer, senior engineer, and senior engineer 2 or second. Let's open the first one. Yeah, and now we see the general description, and then we see some areas, technical areas, communication areas, delivery, leadership, and some description and examples, right? So if we read this, we will see that this is specifically about developers because they use Python, Node, and other keywords that only applicable for developers, not for other stuff like HR or finances or marketing. Another example, yeah, this is a description that you may find. Another example is another site, which is gov.uk. Yeah, and acceptable cookies. So they have different, now you can see that they have different roles. You may find different positions like software developer and others. And they have the description: software developer, what a software developer does, software developer role levels. Yeah, interesting that they have even 9 levels, probably including senior levels. Apprentice developer, so they have the basic description, skills, junior developer and skills, just developer, yeah, senior developer management, then lead developer management, then principal developer, and finally principal developer management. Yeah, so this is a description of their developers. Another system is this site SongKick. So they have titles and progression descriptions, skills, what they include into developers, and then they have software developer, right? And the explanation for each direction. Software developer second, senior software developer first, senior software developer second, technical lead architect, principal architect, technical lead manager, engineer manager, engineer director. This is just another leveling system that you may use in your company if you wish, right? Or you may use you may read what your company has. And once more, it's Bradford. Yeah, it seems like it's on GitHub. So again, software engineering level in metrics. They have software engineer 1, software engineer 2, software engineer 3, staff software engineer, senior staff software engineer, principal engineer, senior principal engineer. And also they have all the directions and the description, right? So this what could be in your company. What you may read to understand this basic information. I highly recommend you to watch this Better Wiki website because it has engineering letters and non-engineering letters, but I would prefer engineering letters. So you choose just one, let's say it's Meetup. Some of them are outdated, so you need to find another, you need to skip. Yeah, so this is a detailed site. And as you can see, yeah, so we want medium, for example. We go to medium. This is medium, for example, or meetup. We click the link. Yeah, sometimes it's not there anymore. And sometimes, like this, you may read a lot of good leveling system examples. So there are a lot of them. Then Spotify engineering culture. I highly recommend you to read this because a lot of companies, they just try to copy Spotify engineering culture. Because, for example, when I joined Preply company, one of the first things they said me that we are building here actually Spotify engineering culture. If you want to know what we are trying to build here, you need to watch these videos. So there are two videos, part 1 and then you see part 2. Even we included these two videos into a Preply employee onboarding checklist. So you click and you see the whole story about engineering culture. I really highly recommend you to read this and to watch. Actually, it's two videos, right? So I highly recommend you to watch these two videos because it explains you a lot. Then I highly recommend you to read this Valve book. You may know Valve company. They are developers of Steam Play Market, Half-Life, Counter-Strike, and other games. And they have a handbook for new employees. And what they describe actually not engineering culture like Spotify did, but rather like a company culture. And they very good deliver the understanding of atmosphere in high-tech companies. And also, this kind of company, well, they are like an example or like an etalon for so many companies. Other companies, they want to copy that. They want to copy this culture. So I recommend you to read this as well. Then it was Valve Handbook. Then you have the link to glossary tag and tech terms. What else? Again, I highly recommend you to take all these quizzes just to check your knowledge and learn something new. Also, it's very good to understand technical companies and their specifics by reading books about them. What kind of books I highly recommend? First, Joy Inc. Very good book for about small companies. Even this is book such a great that after I advised this book to one small company, they even decided to rebuild the whole processes in the company to align with this book. Then, of course, from Google, Work Rules. Laszlo Bock tells a story about how Google works inside. Powerful about Netflix culture. Then Spotify Tear Down. And this one is free. It's published on internet, Scrum and XP from the trenches, just to understand the Scrum and Agile and how they how teams work, what is Kanban board, what is what's it? Yeah, like squad, agile team, some artifacts, user stories, and others. So highly recommend you to read this as well. And now the homework for those who are on the course. Find the vacancy for a developer, attach the link to the home task. Study the text of the vacancy, write out the terms unknown to you. Find the meaning of these terms in one of suggested resources, read them. Describe in your own words, what should we look for in this vacancy? Or option number 2, research the career ladder of companies and choose one that is similar to your company as possible, as close as possible, right? So this is a link to engineering ladders. That's it for today. We will, next time we will be talking about where and how to look for developers online, who are web developers and front-end developers. Thank you for your attention. I'm inviting you to participate in this course if you are not on this course yet. And for those who are on the course, we will meet you soon. I am waiting for your hard work. Thank you. Bye-bye.